Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are jumping headfirst into, well, probably the biggest story weaving through pop culture right now.
It's everywhere.
Taylor Swift's engagement to Travis Kelce that was announced Tuesday, August 26th, right? But we're looking beyond just the announcement.
Yeah, we're looking at her whole artistic shift, this theatrical evolution she's been undergoing.
Exactly. So if you've seen the photos, the outfits, all the sequins, the glamour, that sort of old Hollywood vibe, you might just think, okay, new fashion era, fun. But the theory we're digging into today suggests it's much, much deeper than that.
Right. The core idea is that this entire showgirl identity, this big, dramatic, theatrical transformation, it's basically an artistic celebration.
Of the engagement itself.
Precisely. It's not just clothes. The sources are calling it relationship artistry.
Relationship artistry. I like that.
And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We want to unpack how she's connecting this massive, glittering, public performance world with something incredibly personal and quiet, like finding your life partner.
And by doing that, by merging them, is she kind of redefining what pop performance can even be?
That's the argument. That personal joy, that milestone, can actually fuel the biggest, most spectacular artistic vision she's had yet.
Okay, and it starts right away, doesn't it? With the visuals of the engagement itself. We heard Travis Kelce proposed in a garden setting.
Yeah, turned a garden into a love story, as the report put it.
Yeah.
Super intimate, natural.
But then, boom, the official photos hit. And it's all Art Deco, high glamour, almost cinematic.
That contrast is key. The intimate moment made spectacular. That's the aesthetic foundation right there.
Okay, so let's trace that back, the visual timeline. Because this didn't just appear overnight with the ring, right? The groundwork was being laid.
Definitely not overnight. If you look at her fashion over the past year, something was shifting. It wasn't the folklore cabin anymore.
Or the dark, edgy reputation thing?
No. The sources talk about a measured move towards engagement-appropriate glamour, which sounds a bit funny, but it makes sense.
What does that mean, though? Engagement-appropriate glamour, like just fancier dresses?
More than that, it's about the type of glamour. Less trendy, more structured, permanent feeling, thinking about silhouettes that last, old Hollywood tailoring, heavier fabrics, lots of crystals and textures that really hold the light.
Almost like preparing for a big reveal, like visual armor for a major life event.
That's a good way to put it. Preparatory armor, not just fleeting fashion.
And you see this inside the Eras Tour too, right? That evolution.
Oh, dramatically. Go back and watch footage from the early legs of the tour. She's incredible, technically perfect, obviously. But there's this sense of...
Adjusting.
Yeah, adjusting to the sheer scale of it all. It's a mammoth production. She was still maybe mastering the beast.
Okay, and then compare that to the shows right before the announcement came out.
Night and day, the confidence level. She wasn't just executing the moves. She was owning every single dramatic beat, every costume change, every spotlight moment. It felt different.
Like she'd fully stepped into that role of the performer on the absolute grandest scale.
Exactly. A psychological shift, which ties directly into this showgirl identity concept.
Let's talk about that. The showgirl. Why that specific archetype? I know one source mentioned a specific outfit nodding to an off-duty Vegas dancer.
Right. The analysis suggests she's leaning into that persona because of Travis, because he's maybe the first partner who seems to fully embrace both sides of her.
The private person and the global superstar spectacle.
He fell for both Taylor Swift the person and the idea of Taylor Swift the performer, the showgirl.
And her social media reflects this too, since early 2024.
Yeah, look at the aesthetic shift there. The lighting got more dramatic. The staging and photos felt more theatrical, more cinematic.
Leading up to
that Art Deco glamour in the engagement photos.
Yeah.
It wasn't a random choice. It felt like the culmination of something she'd been visually building for months.
Okay, this Vegas showgirl metaphor seems really central. Let's dig into that more. What does it really represent?
Well, historically, you think about Vegas showgirls. It was this intense combination of relentless hard work, physical stamina, and this incredibly dazzling public persona.
Right. Not an easy job.
Not at all. And the key thing for their personal lives, apparently, was finding a partner who got that the performance wasn't just a costume. It was them.
It was integral to who they were. You couldn't ask them to just turn it off.
Exactly. And if you think about Taylor's own artistic history, her song lyrics.
Yeah, there are definitely threads there. About relationships struggling with the sheer size of her fame, the spectacle.
Partners may be wanting the private Taylor, but feeling overwhelmed by or even trying to diminish the public Taylor Swift, the bigness of it all.
So Travis is different. The sources call it the Travis difference.
That's the term they use. He's the counterpoint. He doesn't just tolerate the showgirl side. He seems to actively celebrate it.
Probably helps that he's used to a massive spotlight himself.
Totally. His own career, the Super Bowl wins, the public attention, he gets it. His family seems comfortable with spectacle, too. It's like, for the first time, her partner isn't intimidated by how bright she shines. He maybe even adds to it.
Okay, and this connects to the Eras Tour endurance, the idea of it being like a Vegas residency.
Absolutely. Think about the demands of a long-running Vegas show. Consistent magic, night after night. Grueling physical demands, emotional stamina, total dedication to the spectacle.
The Eras Tour is basically that, but traveling the world.
Precisely. It requires the endurance of an elite athlete.
Which brings us to the athlete connection, Travis Kelce.
Yes, this is crucial. As a top-tier professional athlete, he understands things maybe her previous partners couldn't, on a gut level.
Like what?
Like the sheer physical grind of performing consistently at that level. The psychological weight of intense public scrutiny, winning, losing, injuries, everything playing out in public.
The need for showmanship in his field, too, combined with incredible discipline.
Exactly. And maybe most importantly, the understanding that you have to deliver, maintain those standards, no matter how you personally feel that day. It's a job, a high-stakes performance.
It's like they speak the same language. Endurance, spectacle, teamwork, pressure.
That's the idea. So she's claiming this showgirl identity now, possibly because she finally has a partner who sees that identity as powerful, as something to be proud of, not something inconvenient or threatening.
That makes a lot of sense.
And there's even a little economic angle suggested, this blend of massive pop stardom with that classic Vegas showgirl glamour.
Could be a shot in the arm for Vegas tourism.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Merging that huge pop culture engine with the enduring appeal of Vegas glitz. It's an interesting thought.
Okay, so if this whole artistic direction, this theatricality, is really rooted in the engagement, a celebration, what does that mean for the music, the next album?
It means we should probably expect something grand. Really grand. Forget standard pop production.
Yeah, what are we talking? Bigger synth.
Way beyond that. Think full orchestras. Big, powerful brass sections like you'd hear in classic movie scores or, well, Vegas shows.
Wow.
And maybe even weaving in musical ideas that echo celebration, bits of harmony or movements that hint at wedding marches, but integrated into pop songs.
So not just strings layered on top, but fundamental.
That's the prediction. One source suggested full orchestral arrangements could be the foundation for, like, 60% of the tracks. Foundational texture, not just decoration.
Is that risky, though, going so heavily orchestral? Could it alienate some of the pop audience who want, the dance beats?
That's the artistic tightrope walk, isn't it? But the key might be in the song structures themselves.
How so?
Theatrical music isn't just about sounding big. It's about telling a story with emotional ups and downs. Dynamic range.
Okay.
So expect songs that feel less like verse-chorus, and more like mini-musical theater numbers. Songs with distinct sections, emotional movements, building and releasing tension.
So the album's narrative wouldn't just be track by track, but maybe within each track, too.
Could be. You might get songs starting really intimately, maybe reflecting that garden proposal moment, then moving into more complex, layered arrangements for songs about, say, blending two huge lives or planning a future together.
And then culminating in these massive, full orchestra tracks that look forward.
That's a potential structure, yeah.
Yeah.
Which logically leads to a fusion of genre.
Because you need different sounds to tell different parts of the story?
Exactly. The showgirl tradition itself involves versatility. So the predictions include blending the storytelling focus of country
Her roots?
with the broad appeal of pop, definitely.
Yeah.
But then adding the complexity and brassiness of jazz. Think big band, showgirl tradition, maybe even some gospel influences for those big communal celebration feelings.
Wow. Country, pop, jazz, gospel, all anchored by orchestral drama. That's ambitious.
It is. And it points towards some interesting collaborations, too.
Beyond just other singers.
Yeah. Obviously, features from major orchestras seem likely, maybe even pulling in vocalists known from Broadway, given the theatrical lean. And here's a specific prediction. Integrating Travis Kelce's voice.
Singing.
No, not singing, but using his voice as part of the soundscape. Spoken interludes.
Like little snippets of narration, maybe about the proposal or their life.
Something like that. The prediction was his voice integrated into at least a couple of tracks. It adds that personal layer directly into the music.
And the core idea is that this album, unlike maybe previous ones, is being conceived from the start with the stage show in mind.
Yes. The album and the tour are being born together, intertwined conceptually from day one, written for a theatrical presentation.
Which brings us to the next tour, the 2025 Tour Speculation. If the music is that grand, the stage show has to match it.
Oh, absolutely. The predictions for the stage design are pretty wild. It's got to be the ultimate visual expression of this love meets spectacle theme.
What are we talking about? Bigger screens?
More dynamic than that. Think multi-level stages, maybe representing different phases of life or the relationship. Set pieces that physically transform, shifting from something intimate like a garden into something huge and celebratory.
Hydraulics. Moving stages.
Yeah, hydraulics are mentioned. Specifically, the idea of using stage mechanics to recreate that garden proposal imagery. Nature, growth, softness, but using high-tech, spectacular means. A blooming technological garden.
Cool. And costumes, will they tell a story too?
That's the idea, a progression. Maybe starting simpler, more intimate looks and building towards those really over-the-top theatrical finale outfits. We know the showgirl aesthetic involves things like, what was it?
Crystalline cage bras, diamante panties, and tall feather headdresses.
Right. So expect that level of committed glamour fully embraced.
But maybe with subtle nods too. Little Easter eggs.
Definitely. The predictions mentioned subtle Kansas City references woven in, maybe in color schemes or small details, and choreography that incorporates movements or formations inspired by football or sports.
Teamwork metaphors.
Yeah, but integrated subtly, not like literal football plays on stage.
Yeah.
Just hints in the movement vocabulary.
And it might go beyond just sight and sound.
That's one of the more intriguing predictions, multisensory stuff. Using sense.
Like smell-o-vision?
Kind of. Imagine faint garden smells during songs about the proposal, or maybe champagne-like scents during the big celebration numbers. Even temperature changes in the arena. Total immersion.
Wow. Okay, that's next level. And the engagement ring itself, that becomes a visual motif.
It symbolizes commitment, obviously, but also a commitment that can handle the spotlight. It's spectacular, luxurious. So expect that aesthetic to infuse everything.
Colors.
Gold, crystal, deep jewel tones. Definitely those garden greens, but maybe punched up with Vegas neon accents.
Yeah.
And seeing circles, rings, integrated into the stage design.
Symbolizing the ring, but maybe also teamwork, like a huddle, or coming full circle in her career.
All of the above. It works on multiple levels, maybe even subtle integrations of football field lines or shapes used abstractly in the staging.
So, zooming out, what's the bigger impact of all this relationship artistry explosion?
Well, on one level, it could be setting a new template for how celebrity couples operate.
How so?
Instead of the old narrative where one star has to dim their light for the relationship to work, this suggests two huge careers, two massive spotlights, can actually enhance each other. They both understand and thrive on public performance.
That's a definite shift.
And it'll likely ripple outwards. Think about the wedding industry.
Oh, yeah. Big theatrical weddings are going to be huge, GE, Vegas themes everywhere.
Massive demand, probably. And it could shift the concert industry, too, moving away from just promoting an album towards creating these immersive, celebration-themed theatrical events based on life milestones.
It feels bigger than just a tour.
Right, which ties into the timeline speculation. An October album release makes sense if it's this celebration theme.
Leading into the holidays.
And then those rumors about scouting Vegas venues suddenly seem very plausible. A big Vegas residency announcement by December 2024. The theme fits perfectly.
It all lines up thematically.
It really does seem to be a case of relationship artistry in action. Two people using their individual platforms and talents to create something collaborative and huge.
A fascinating deep dive. So we've unpacked the theory, the visuals, the music, the tour potential.
A whole new era, potentially.
Which leaves us, and you, with a final thought to chew on. Considering how deeply she seems to be integrating her professional spectacle with her personal life now, what does this new standard of relationship artistry really mean?
Yeah, how did it change the game? For public figures trying to navigate authenticity versus performance, is this the new way?
And could this very theatrical, very public integration of love and career set a new cultural benchmark for what we even consider a successful celebrity partnership in the long run?
Lots to think about there.
Definitely something spectacular to mull over. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.